it's Katherine, and we're going to talk about getting specific with your branding, aka gender specific. I know it's not something that's really talked about that often, and honestly, I think it's because people are scared of, maybe turning away potential clients or even coming off as sexist. And you know what? That's just not true. That's just a personal impression as to what might happen. But what really happens when you get gender specific is you are being honest with yourself and with your potential clients, your viewers, as to who you work best with and who you can best help. And that is really an amazing quality to have in your branding. Just because you're getting gender specific with your branding doesn't mean that the opposite gender isn't going to be interested in working with you, especially if you're actually really good at what you're doing and it shows, it comes across that you are very much in charge and know exactly what it is and what your benefit is to your clients. You're still going to be attracting get people from the opposite gender than what you are actually targeting. You'll just be attracting more of the type of people who you best serve. So just keep that in mind when you're making the decision as to whether or not to go with it. When you own it, you're going to be attracting the people who you love to work with. Like I said earlier, they're also going to feel like you really get them because you're going to be talking directly to them. That means if you're talking to women, you're using girl or whatever terminology that, they would use to talk with their own girlfriends, or that their girlfriends would use to talk with them. And that feels really good. That feels really normal. And like, you're already my friend even though I haven't met you. And finally, you won't be wasting so much time and energy on answering queries about your business and your services and what you do for people who are never going to be in that target demographic in the first place. So it's really a great time saver, and it just is beneficial for your potential clients to know for sure for themselves whether or not what you have to offer could be a really good fit and answer their needs for them. So how do you do it? Right? That's the big question. And the thing is, it's really easy. You just gotta own it. Just do it, right? But let's talk a little bit about what that looks like. You're going to want to work on making sure that your imagery that you're using on your website and in all of your materials that you're providing are feminine based. So what that typically looks like is light and airy, a lot of white space, and maybe some softer, more feminine type colors. You don't have to go pink per se, but that doesn't hurt. Depends on who your target demographic is and what really attracts them, and also what feels right for you and your brand. Another very important part to keep in mind is also about how you talk in your messaging. So basically the personality with which you are communicating and what kind of terminology you're using. You could use the term girl, like call me girl, like girl please, right? I mean, that's something that you might say or someone might say. And just kind of have fun with it. You can even use the BITCH word. And yes, I know I am using girls and women in general as the target, like as a demographic to target, the gender to target with your marketing, but that's really because I've seen it a lot lately and I've seen a lot of questions about that. People are more interested in targeting women specifically, I don't know why, than men. So that's why I'm using the girl terminology more, but it goes either way. You can do it for, either gender, or even someone who is, not really adhering to a specific gender. It's your call, it's your demographic, you know how to talk to them, or at least I hope you do. Like I said earlier though, it's really just about deciding whether or not you're comfortable with doing it and going for it. But before you actually make this decision and start targeting a specific gender, whichever gender that might be, you should know for yourself whether or not you're going to be open to working with the opposite gender that you're not targeting. A lot, because if you're providing a good service, they're still going to come knocking on your door.